Hello everyone and welcome to Lovella's Coloring. We have made it to the final part of my collection series where I'm sharing all of my completed colorings from the beginning of my journey to now. And if you've watched each and every part of this series, I thank you all so much. If you've missed any and would like to catch up on them, I do have a playlist of this series, and I realized that I accidentally had it on private, but it is now public, so I do have the link down below in the video description, up above here, and at the end of this video. In this final part, I'm going to be sharing with you colorings from these books that I was not able to add to the previous parts of this series because these are ones that I've completed in the past few months, and a couple are from this month too. I am also going to be sharing with you PDFs that I have completed, and as always, I never know how long my videos are going to take, so grab a drink and or a snack, have a relaxing time, and most of all, please enjoy. I'm going to go ahead and clear off my desk, and I will see you all in a second. The first book is Disney Portraits, Petite Carré, Art Therapy. This is by Hachette Hero, and I have two colorings in here. Both were done as buddy colors with the lovely Vamica. I believe her Instagram is Coloring with V. So this is my first completed page in here, which is of Minnie Mouse, and I colored her in with Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. You can see the glare from the wax. The background is done with the Faber-Castell gelatos, and I used colors from 3 different packs. So I used one from the pastel, one from the brights, and one from the metallic. And yeah, they blend well all together. Makes Minnie Mouse pop out. So that's my first coloring in here. And then I just completed one this month, again as a buddy color, but I haven't posted it yet because she's still working on hers. And so we colored Snow White, and again I used Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. I just like how they color on this paper. It's very nice, blends very well. The background I covered with acrylic paint, matte acrylic paint, and then the glitter that you see that's speckled all around is the Nouveau glitter markers, and I think I used 2 different colors, ice mocha or iced coffee, and then it's one of the yellow ones. I forgot what it's called, but yeah, very pretty. So those are my 2 colorings in Disney Portraits, Petite Carré by Hachette Hero. Next, I have Mythographic, Dream Garden by Fabiana Atanasio, and this is another one that I just completed this month in July as a buddy color with my good friend Kelly, known as Color Journey with Kelly on Instagram. And yeah, so this page I used Derwent Inktense and Kohinoor Polycolor and Kohinoor Tritone. The tritones I used on the petals of the sunflower. And in the background I laid down Derwent Inktense first, and then on top of that I put 2 layers of the Dragonfly glaze. So yeah, this is me playing with them my first time using on a coloring, and again my first completed coloring in this book. And yeah, and I also used a lot of white Posca, and I think that's the only other embellishment that I've done besides the Dragonfly glaze. And yeah, so this one is Mythographic, Dream Garden by Fabiana Atanasio. Next, I have Mythographic Paradise, also by Fabiana Atanasio, and my completed page is this one, which I shared last month. And this one was colored with a lot of Derwent mediums, like the Derwent ink tints, graphite tint as a base, and then to color on top, I used the Derwent Pro Color and the Color Soft. The background is done with Posca. I have white Posca as accents on here, on the whisker, on the orbs, and then Aeon Art glitter gel pen, I think, for her hairpiece. I used a lot of the Sakura metallic colors. I think there's 3 of them for the decoration on the kimono. And then for the makeup, I copied it to look like the geisha, the apprentice of a geisha. I forgot what the name is. There's a name for it, but I totally forgot. And then also in their kimono, they have to wear a red lining. So after I colored it, when I realized that they had to have a red lining, I added that little bit of red. And yes, and then I also changed this bowling ball, which was a hidden object, and made it into a dragon ball. So yeah, so this is my first completed coloring in Mythographic Paradise by Fabiana Atanasio. Here I have The Way Home, a Galactic coloring book by Morgan O'Brien. I have one completed in here. I do plan to come back and color more in here for a color along that is held by Jojosa Hana. And yeah, but I haven't gotten enough time to color besides doing buddy colors. But yeah, so this is my first completed coloring in here, all colored with Ohuhu brush alcohol markers. For accents, I used the silver Posca and some Sakura Stardust on the red area. And yeah, I tried to make it look like, so whatever he's looking at on the tablet, it's like glowing into his face. But yeah, so that is my completed coloring in The Way Home by Morgan O'Brien. Next, I have Far Out Space Adventure coloring book. This is by Hollow Quill. I did a flip through and a speed coloring in this book, and I'll show you the page that I colored. I'll leave a link up above if you want to check out the flip through and the speed coloring. Here is the page that I completed, and this is done all with Ohuhu brush marker. And the fun thing about this book is that once you lay down your colors on this page, when you turn it around to the next page in the back, you can see how it has some blacked out areas, and it makes it look like a whole new different colored page. So you get like 2 completed colorings in one. So yeah, it's a very cool concept that they created with this coloring book. So that's the back. This is the front. And it's my first coloring in the Far Out Space Adventure coloring book by Hollow Quill. My next coloring is in Galaxy Queen by Coco Wayo. They sent me this book to share on my channel, so I do have a flip through and review of this book, and if you want to check it out, I'll have the link up above. I also did a speed coloring of one of the illustrations that I colored, which is this one, and I used different mediums for this page. I started off with Ohuhu brush markers, and then I used the Caran d'Ache Pablos to color her in. And then for the stars, I used the Gansai Tambi Starry color. I also used some white Posca. The orbs were from the Colero Pearlescent watercolor. I believe the set is called Fairy Tale. And then the glittery background, that is with the Glitterific Fine acrylic paint. And yeah, that's it. But yeah, all different mediums to play on this page, and the paper still came out flat. Very nice. So this is my first completed coloring in the Galactic Queen coloring book by Coco Wayo. My next coloring is in Manic Botanic. This is the Korean edition, and the illustrator is Irina Vinick. I did a page in here as a buddy color with the lovely T of T's World of Adult Coloring. And this is I think these are kingfisher birds. So I colored them like a kingfisher bird. And then for the flowers, I just kind of like pick what I wanted them to be. I did start off with the Derwent Inktense, and I forgot that T warned me not to use that on this page, because when I started activating it with the water brush, it reacted so weird. I didn't like how it was looking, and you can see that it already started shadowing through, and I wasn't even using that much water. So I just did this area and stopped, and then continued the rest of the page with the Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. And I started coloring from this part all the way down to this area. And in this area, there were a lot of details that I just ignored because I didn't want to try to decide what it was. So I just picked out the ones that I want to be part of the flowers, and the rest I decided should just be underneath the water. So yeah, so this is my completed coloring in the Manic Botanic by Irina Vinick. My next completed coloring is in Fairy Celebrations by Klara Markova. And this page was done as a buddy color with my dear friend Vamica, also known as Coloring with V. And so with this page, I used the Caran d'Ache Neo Color 2 for the background, and I wanted to deepen the color a little bit more, especially in the bottom, so I went back over it with the Caran d'Ache Pablos, which I also use for the rest of the page. For their skin, I used the Caran d'Ache Luminance. And then for embellishments, I used white Posca to line over the translucent parts. And then on those parts, I also used the Zig Wink of Stella, which I hope you can see it glittering. On the scales, I outlined it with the Sakura Stardust. I also used some gold Posca on the details on the pillows. And yeah, so that is my completed coloring in Fairy Celebrations by Klara Markova. I have another book by Klara. This one is called Fairy Touch of Magic, and the page I completed in here is this one. And I believe I colored this for several color alongs on Instagram for support for Ukraine. And so with this one, I also used the Caran d'Ache Neo Color 2 for the background, and this is all colored in with the Holbein Artist colored pencils. And then for accents, I used white Posca, Sakura Stardust, which I believe is on her dress and on her wings, and then I also used some Aeon Art glitter gel pens. So that is my first completed coloring in the Fairy Touch of Magic by Klara Markova. Next, I have Whimsical Girls with Jane Davenport. I did some testing on this page where I think this is coloring paper, so I wanted to see what works. So this one is with the Portfolio water soluble oil pastel, Tombow dual brush marker, watercolor pencils, colored pencils, and then pastel pencils. But yeah, just wanted to see how they'd feel on this paper. And then on the watercolor paper, I used my 3 Prima marketing sets. I used the Terrain, Complexion, and the Vintage pastels. And then I drew in a chin for her because it kind of looked weird with just all skin. So I drew in her chin. So that is my colorings in the Whimsy Girls with Jane Davenport. And the last of the books I'm going to share is Watercolor with Me in the Forest with Dana Fox. And I just started from the beginning. And so I am using my Sakura Koi watercolor palette set, and I try to convert the colors that they have here to the ones I have. So I've been trying to save it up so that in the other books I can just look back and see which one I use for those colors. So here's the first one with the acorn. Here's the caterpillar, fern. I forgot this was wet and I laid some stuff on there. Here's the ladybug, and then clovers. Yeah, so still many more projects to go, but yeah, just slowly dipping in with the watercolors and just enjoying the process. So again, this is Watercolor with Me in the Forest with Dana Fox. So to start off my PDF colorings that I've done, I'm going to share with you illustrations by Destiny Lauritsen. So each of these illustrations I received through her newsletter, and yeah, she gives one free illustration a month. So if you're interested in subscribing to her newsletter, I'll leave the link to her website down below in the video description. It is called destinylauritsen.com. So I'm going to start off with this one here called Tropical Tune. So for this page, I based her with alcohol markers and then used the Brute Funer, the square-barreled colored pencils to color her in. The background is done with black Posca, and then the outline in the background here was done with gold Posca. And then for her tail, I believe I used her tail to share how I color mermaid tail. If I can find a video, I'll go ahead and leave the link up above here if you want to check that out. So to do the details here, I used the Crayola Super Tip and white Posca. And yeah, so this one again is Tropical Tune. Next, this one is called Visiting Neighbors, and again a base of alcohol markers. I use Prismacolor Premier colored pencils to color this page in. Use some stickles. The background is done with black acrylic. The pearlescent in here, I think it was like 2 different colors that I tried to do a gradient. It's the Paul Rubin pearlescent watercolors. And then I also use some Aeon Art glitter gel pen and white Posca. And some silver Posca on his scarf. Trying to do some plaid there. And yeah, very cute coloring. So this one is again Visiting Neighbors. Here is Love, Note, and Flowers. Oops, sorry, too close. So for this one, I didn't do the rest of it. I decided to just focus on her and this little background here. So again, based with markers, then the pencils I used is the Derwent Color Soft. I used some white Posca to outline here and then on her wings, a little bit on her eye and lips. Here you can see the stickles. And then the glitter in the background here was done with the Mod Podge Extreme Glitter. And yeah, so again, this is Love Note and Flowers. Next is the Rainy Day Friends, and again I did a base of a Hoo Hoo brush markers, alcohol markers. I did use a little bit of the Mueller soft pastel to make it look like light was coming in. The background here is the Faber-Castell Gelatos, And to color her in, I used the Faber-Castell Polychromos. Also used some white Posca, and there are some Sakura Stardust in the details. If you can see it. Okay, so again, this is Rainy Day Friends. And then the last that I did from Destiny Lauritsen, this one again based with alcohol markers. The pencils I used is the Kohinoor Polycolor and the Kohinoor Tritones. So the Tritone I use the color Blush for the pink areas of the rose and of her wings. Then the blue is blue matte acrylic. Also use some Aeon Art glitter gel pens and Sakura Stardust for her wings. The splattering all around was done with, I think it's the Gansai Tambi Starry color, but it just looks dirty, and yeah, it just looks like, well, I tried to make it look like a lot of fairy dust or something, but I just think of pollen now. But yeah, so that's the last one, A Bloom in June by Destiny Lauritsen. So I have several folders that I separated the artist in here, but I'm still working on it. So I only have this coloring in here because I have the others in the other book, but I didn't want to take it out. So this coloring is from Fabrica Fantasy from the book Forest Spirits, and this is my first page from that book. So this one was colored in with the Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer, and then I also used the Faber-Castell Polychromos. The background is done with the Munoz Soft Pastel. For accents I used white Posca, and then I think on the B I had some glossy accents. So yeah, that is the only coloring I have in here. I have another folder to share, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my other notebook out, but before I continue, for any of the books that I've shared on this video, if I have links for them, they will be down below in the video description. And then for the Etsy stores, for the illustrators that I'm going to be sharing in this video with their PDFs, I'll try to make sure that I have their links down below also. So I'm going to start off with Jeremiah Kentner. This beautiful illustration is from his Spring 2020 collection, and this is printed on the Copic marker paper. And so I colored her in and the flowers in with the Copic Chow markers, and the rainbows were done with the Ohuhu brush markers. And then for accents, I think I just used the gold Posca for the details on her shirt, the middle part of the flowers on the butterfly, and her barrette. And I think white Posca on her eye. And that's the first one. And then I did one more from the same collection, I believe. So this one was done in a different kind of marker paper. This one is a lot thinner than the Copic brand one. So again, this one was colored in with the Copic Chows. And yeah, it was my first time blending this big of an illustration. The background was actually a gradient of grays from the Ohuhu brush markers. And then I used the color Old Red from Ohuhu to go over all that gray gradient. And then that's how it came out. I really like how that looks. And then for accents, I use a white gel pen, sorry for the glare, for the little bubbles going all the way around, and then Sakura Stardust on the stars. Very, very cute. My next coloring is in the 1 Year of Joy coloring book. This is by Mystic Art Gems. And here is the coloring that I did, I think for Christmas a couple of years ago, I think. and I did not write what I used on it. Oh my gosh, hold on. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I used Copic Chow markers, most likely for her skin, and then Lemouche markers to color in the rest of it. The pencils that I used is the Caran d'Ache Pablos. I did use black Prismacolor to darken up her eyebrows and her eyes and the eyelashes. The back or the puffs here, I used a lot of white Posca and Sakura Stardust. And then this part in the background, I laid on top of it the Zig Wink of Stella to add some glitter, and then the rest is done with the Muñoz Soft Pastel. So I'll go ahead and put this away later. So this one I printed off on a tan cardstock. I forgot what the brand is, for Thanksgiving. And for this one I used a base of Ohuhu brush marker, and then I used the Caran d'Ache Luminance to color her skin in, and then I think some of it was also done with the Faber-Castell Polychromos, and then white Posca for the details, especially on her eyes. Okay, and that is that one. From Ocean Dreams, I colored this page, which I can't see. Hold on. So for this illustration, I used a base of Ohuhu brush markers, and then the pencils I used is the Brute Funer, the square barreled ones. I used the Kuretake Gansai watercolors, pearlescent colors, I think, for one of these, and then for the other one I used the Paul Rubin pearlescent watercolor also. Used a lot of white Posca, and then Sakura Glaze and Sakura Stardust. So you can see the glaze here on her necklace, and then I think the Stardust was done on the wings, and then I also did it as strands on her hair. Okay. So next I have Little Faye, We Fairies of Fairyville coloring book. This is by Deborah Mueller. And I did one page from there, and it's this one. And again, I forgot to take it out. So for this page, I used the Lemouche markers as a base. I also used some Derwent ink tints for the background and the base of her hair. For the flowers, I used the Tombow dual brush markers as a base, and then for pencils for the whole page, I used the Black Widow colored pencils. Oops. And then I also use a lot of, embellishments like white Posca, Zig Wink of Stella on her dress, Sakura Stardust, and then Pentel Sparkle Pop on her dress too, and lots of stickles on the flowers. Go ahead and stick this back in here really quick. And then, let's see. I stopped printing them all out. Now I just print out 6 in a page back and front to make it a little bit easier, and it'll save me space in my folders. So for this one, this is Deborah Mueller's Artsy Girls. This is the first one that I colored from her. Base of alcohol markers, And for pencils, I used the Brute Funer square barreled ones, white Posca. I used for embellishments Sakura Stardust and the metallic. So the Stardust, I think, where is it? Oh, it's on her outfit. The metallic was the strings. So that's the first one. Next, I did this page. Again, a base of alcohol markers. Also with the Brute Funer square barreled pencils. White Posca on the flowers. There's stickles right here. And then I also used some Aeon Art glitter gel pen on her shirt. Sorry for the glare. And on the butterfly. And then more glitters or more stickles on the flowers down here. And then I have one more completed, which is this one. And for this page, again, base of Ohuhu brush markers. Pencils I used is the Arteza Expert. The background here, the flowered areas, are washi tape. And then I used white Posca to put the stitches on top of them. I also used some Sakura Metallic and Stardust Jelly Roll for accents around here. And I think just this star right over here is Stickles. Very cute page. It was a lot of fun doing the washi tape. So next, I'm going to be sharing with you the Patreon illustration that I colored from Hannah Lynn. So I don't know why I put it here. It's weird. I like stuck it in here, in between. Yeah, I'm still putting together my PDF books. I was sorting it. I kind of like just pushed it all in here. So this one, I did not write what I used, but alcohol markers as a base. I know the trees up here was done with the Caran d'Ache Neo Color 2, the autumn colors that came as a set, and then pencils on top. I can see that I used some gold Posca right over here, white Posca in her eye, her lip, and then accents up for the apples in the tree. Yeah, very, very pretty. And then next I did this one. Let's see if I can put it down. So for here I used the Ohuhu brush marker as a base. I used the Colleen colored pencils to color her in. The background was done with the Kuretake Gansai Tambi. And then I also used the Nouveau glitter markers. Sorry if I'm hopefully the light's not glaring. I used Sakura Glaze, white Posca, Stickles, and Flare glitter gel pen for accents. You can see how dark the butterfly body is. And then another page that I completed is this one. Again, a base of Ohuhu brush markers. I used the Black Widow colored pencil set to color this page in. For embellishments, I used white Posca and the Sakura Stardust and the metallic. And then I believe this illustration was in dedication to Hannah Lynn's brother-in-law who suddenly passed away in an accident. So he loved fishing, and yeah, I just was inspired to color this in for her brother-in-law. And then next, I think this is the last. No, there's another one. So this one, I remember I printed this out a couple years ago to color, and I didn't finish it until I think this year. So this is a base of Ohuhu brush markers. For pencils, I used the Castle Arts and the Castle Art pastel tints. The embellishments I used is the white Posca, black Posca, black Prisma for eyelashes to darken them up. I used Wink of Stella on skis and also Stickles, and some Sakura Stardust and metallic as accents. Very cute. And then this is the last of the Hannah Lynn Patreon PDFs that I have. This was done with a base of alcohol markers, the Lemachet set that I'm trying to finish off. The pencils that I use is a brand called Cezanne 2, and I also use some Zig Wink of Stella on the little patches on the dinosaur, and also white Posca. And then for Christmas Fun, Festive Girls Coloring Book by Deborah Mueller. This is the page that I colored. Sorry for the glare. Let's see. So for this page, another one based with alcohol markers, I believe her, the dog, and the floor. Oh, and I think also the background, but I also use Big Intensity. For pencils, I use the Arteza colored pencils and Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. For the embellishments, I use a lot. I use the Uniball Signo Silver. You can see it on the tree here. White Prismacolor, I think, for the edges to kind of like smooth it all out, all the white areas. I also use Zig Wink of Stella for the packages. And then for the, what is it, the frame of this page, on top of the black Posca, I use the Mod Podge Extreme Glitter. Okay, so that is it for this folder. Then I have one more. Okay, so we are into my third folder here, and so this one is just PDF. So I've been again rearranging my PDF folders. When we move, I plan to put them all in order. I just kind of want them all at least put away in folders. So this one is for a advent calendar that was done a couple years ago, that was hosted by Passionista Colorista. And so I did all 24 days. I think I used a mix of pencils. Some were done with Prismas, some were done with Faber-Castell Polychromos, Holbeins. I think I was like switching off back and forth using different pencils for each illustration. But yeah, very fun pages. Let me go ahead and share with you how it looks. Kind of small here. So you can see all the different illustrators that participated that year. Very cute. So that was one page. And then on this page, I think this portion from the 19th through the 24th was done while we were on vacation. So it's a good thing I was able to bring some like glitter gel pen and the Zig Wink of Stella for some accents. Oh, so the next page, this one I did a couple years ago. This was a illustration by Chihiro Shiomi, and this is from her or his Etsy store, and you can see that each little section is marked off with a number. So each day before Christmas I did a little section, so I have that as a playlist if you want to check that out. I don't know if I'll do another one. We'll see if I have time this year to do one something like this, because there is another page or another illustration that is also numbered. It's so cute. So again, this is by Chihiro Shiomi, 2018. So this one is from Rita Berman. This is the free illustration, sorry for the glare, that she had available for us to print and download and print. So this was from 2021, and yeah, I didn't color that section. I think I just concentrated on here, which I colored on Copic marker paper, and it was done all with Copic markers. Yeah, and it was a lot of fun blending. Really love how it came out. Then I also added a lot of embellishments like white Posca and lots of glitter gel pens, which I can't share too much because of the glare, sorry. But yeah, it's there. So again, this is by Rita Berman. This illustration here is from Jodie Lim. I don't have her coloring book. I think I've always intended to download her book, but I never got around to it. But yeah, this was free for a color along that I participated in several years ago. And I forgot to put down what I used, but I believe the background here was done with the Neo Color 2s. This portion here I think is with the Munoz Soft Pastel, and then she's colored in with Faber-Castell Polychromos. And a little bit of white Posca in the flowers, which is hard to see. But again, this is by Jodie Lim Art. And this illustration, I forgot who the illustrator is. I'll go ahead and put it up here on the screen. But I believe this was a free PDF, and I'm not sure if it's still free, but I'll have her website down below so you can check it out. So for this page, I used my first Bellissimo colored pencil set. Oh gosh, I can't remember what the name of it was. But yeah, so I colored this page, and the background is done with the Munoz Soft Pastel. Very, very cute. Then I used some Sakura Stardust, or no, Sakura White Jelly Roll. Sorry. Stickles. And I think that's it. I'm not sure what I used in the bubbles right over here. All these blue bubbles, but very cute illustration. She looks like my niece. So this one, this is an illustration by Jodie Little Pickle Colorful Life, I believe is what her YouTube and her Instagram name is. So my son colored this illustration, and then I colored this illustration in. So for this one is just a base, or I just colored it with Ohuhu brush markers. The background is done with acrylic matte paint, and then on top of that I stuck the Stickles glitter gel thing, the one in the little jars, and then some washi tape. Okay, and then these were illustrations that were free from the Copic website. So I used these illustrations just to follow along in the YouTube tutorial, sharing what to use in each part. So yeah, they had videos for each of these illustrations, and this one too. And then here I have an illustration by Rena. I believe I forgot what her Etsy store name, but I'll go ahead and put it up here. So this one was a base of Ohuhu brush markers, and then I used Arteza Expert colored pencils, and then the Sargent Art Supreme colored pencils. The background is done with acrylic, and then the white dots are all white acrylic. And then for embellishments, it's hard to see. Let me see. I don't know if you can see the embellishments, but that is Sakura Stardust and also some Sakura Metallic. Very cute. And then this side is from Monya Gates. I think this was from a 3-pack mermaid for mermaid for Mermaid, I think like a couple years ago, and I finally colored one of the illustrations. So this one, the background is done with distress ink with white Posca, and then she was based with a hoo-hoo brush markers, and I used the Caran d'Ache Pablos to color her in. I also used some black Prisma for her eyelashes, and I don't think I used any other embellishments on this. I think that was it. But yeah, I remembered, I forgot what I did over here. I think I tried to give her like kind of like a bluishy green blush, but it looked like a bruise, so I drew in some fins, or like fins, scales like she has down over here. Yeah, very, very pretty. So this illustration is from Fabiana Atanasio. I got this off her website. It was free at the time, but I couldn't find it anymore, so I'll try again. If I can find it, I'll leave the link down below. But if I can't, I'm sorry. But I'll leave her website just in case she has any more free illustrations available. So this, I think, is based off of Bridgerton. Well, that's what I based it off of. That's how I colored it. And so I based this all with a hoo-hoo brush markers. The pencils I used is the Derwent Color Soft. And for embellishments, I used white and beige Posca and then silver Posca. And then on her dress, I used a lot of Aeon Art glitter gel pen. Sorry. Trying not to glare. Hard to see. But yeah. And then this one is by Damita Victoria, which was another free illustration to support Ukraine. And so for this page, I based it with a hoo-hoo brush markers. I used Black Widow colored pencils on top, and also Faber-Castell Polychromos. The background was done with the Mueller Soft Pastel. For some embellishments, I did use some Sakura Glaze, white Posca, and stickles. And then down here for the world piece, sorry, me to glare, just a little bit of glitter. That's the Aeon Art glitter gel pen. And then for this illustration, this one I was sent by an artist on Instagram. Her name is Tali. I believe her Instagram name is Tali Art. And it was for a color along. So I colored this. This was my first time coloring on the Strathmore Tone Tan paper. And yeah, so I used all Caran d'Ache luminance to color this page in. There were little speckles around, so I left that in, and then I just put Posca on it. And then on this page, this is by Lana Green. I got this illustration through her website, and this one is free. It's one of 6 or 7, I think, and I colored this for Pride Month for several color alongs. So a base of a hoo-hoo brush markers. I used both the Faber-Castell Polychromos, Caran d'Ache Pablos, and the luminance. And then the background is done with the Mueller Soft Pastel with a little bit of white Posca on the eyes, lips, and nails. Very handsome. And then these are the colorings that I cut out from the Jade Summer books that I gifted away to my nieces. And I'll put up what the cover is up over here because I forgot which one it is. So with this page, I'll put the cover here. With this page, I did a base of La Mache markers. I used Sargent Art Supreme colored pencils and the Prismacolor Premier colored pencils to color this page in. I think for the Prisma, I used the black for her hair, and then lots of white Posca to line the ghost. Sorry for the glare. And then on this page for Alice in Wonderland, I believe that's the name of the coloring book, but I'll put the cover up here. This one again is done with alcohol markers and then some pencils on top. I forgot to write down what it was. For accents, I know I used white Posca. It looks like I used some white glitter gel pen over here, some silver gel pens to accent on her dress and on the flowers, and then some Zig Wink of Stella on the hearts. Sorry for the glare again. And then on this one, this is from Chibi Girls, the non-grayscale one. And this one again is with alcohol as a base, alcohol markers, white Posca. I believe for the wood I used the Kohinoor Tritones. And I might have just went ahead and used the polycolor, Kohinoor polycolor to color this one in, but I might be wrong. I didn't write down what I used on Instagram for each of the colorings, so if you're interested you can look there, but it was just some kind of pencils on top. So I did rip this page out from the book. And then one more, this one I forgot which book this was from, so I'll put the cover, oops, sorry for the glare, up over here. And then I think this one was done again with Lemache markers and then some kind of pencils on top, either Prisma or maybe Faber-Castell. Oh, this is from Cute Witches. And then these others were from the books that I copied, so I've already shown that one. So I'll be back with a couple more. So I forgot to share this during the portion of Deborah Mueller's coloring books. This is from the Artsy Girls coloring book by Deborah Mueller, and I still have it based with no pencils on top. I still want to finish this one out. And then another by Debra is this illustration, which again I also have based, but I haven't colored on top of it with pencils yet. And yeah, I still want to do this one also for several color alongs this summer. And this is from Winter Wonderland, I believe, coloring book. And then this illustration is from Dorian Attic or T. Fallon. This is from her book called Blissful Babes. I'll put the cover up here. And I did do a flip through of several of her coloring books, so if you want to see that, I'll try to have that linked up above. And then for this illustration, which I picked to color from her Blissful Babes book, I did a speed coloring of this one, and it's also a voiceover, so I'm telling you guys through the video what I'm doing in each section. And yeah, so for this one I did a base of Ohuhu brush markers on the leaves and on her hair, and then everything else is done with the Caran d'Ache Luminance. I do have some white Posca here and there, and I think that's it. I don't remember having any other embellishments. And that's it. And then I have one more, which I did with my son. So I accidentally printed out this page, several of the pages from this Jade Summer coloring book. I forgot which one I did. I'll put up the cover again. But I did this all with Crayola colored pencils. So yeah, I think that is it. That is the last of my colorings. So here we are done with this series of all of my completed colorings. I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing all the different kinds of coloring books, of different mediums that I've used in those coloring books. I do love having a variety of books and mediums to use. I started off sharing in my channel my first 3 videos of all of my completed colorings, and a majority of those were done with colored pencils, just colored pencils by itself. So in the few years after that, I've been able to color a lot more because I've been using several different kinds of mediums that I've picked up from my fellow color tours and many of the colorists that I admire on Instagram. And so I thank all of you so much for helping me, you know, expand in my coloring. I'm learning from all of you. I hope you know that you all inspire me, and especially with Color Your Hoard, you know, all of you guys with your colorings inspire me to continue, keep growing, keep trying, keep coloring. And it also reminds me of all the books I still have yet to color. So thank you all so much. And I don't think I'm going to do another one of this series like next year. I think it's going to be a little too soon. It may be another couple years later, and then I'll probably do another series like this of all of my completed colorings. So for next month, I am going to start sharing all of my coloring books, so my coloring book stash, and that's going to be even longer. So that is why I wanted to separate my series of completed colorings to my coloring book stash, because that's just going to make it even longer and it will take forever to finish. So with the coloring book stash collection videos that I'm going to do next, in that one I'm just going to show the book, show a couple of pages in the book. I'm not going to show any completed colorings and just go through the whole thing. So I hope you guys look out for that series, which I hope I can start filming as soon as we are moved into our other house. So again, thank you all so much. I know I'm probably forgetting some things that I should say. All of the links I will have down below in the video description. For each of the videos of this series, all of the books are in, or all the links of the books are in the video description, excluding the Korean coloring books from Book Depository, because the characters, the Korean language characters, just take up too much space and I run out of space in there. So if you need any links for those, just contact me either through email or through the comments in the video, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So yeah, again, thank you all so much for your support, for watching these videos, for your likes and for your comments. I'm sending you guys many hugs and love, and I will see you all in my next video. Please take care, keep safe, and have many happy colorings. Bye bye.